And begin.
Alright, so today I'm going to be profiling a water deck that I typically like to use in my Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels. As you can see, it's separated into three piles, this of course being the bad cards, the okay cards, and the good cards. Shockingly enough, you'll find that the good cards are actually pretty big compared to the other two piles. So I'm going to start with the bad cards, the first one being Mecha Sea Dragon Plegion.
Turn it upside down.
Sorry. So this card, I'm going to have to read most, if not all of them, I'm sorry. If you control a face-up Sea Serpent, you can normal summon without tributing. Still very slow. I don't understand why it's not a special summon or why it's in this deck. But you can also tribute a water monster to target a face-up card your opponent controls and destroy that target. Very slow, don't know why it's in the deck. Mobius, classic card, but too slow in today's metagame. Don't have time for tribute summoning. Penguin Soldier, flip effects are slow. Very slow. Hammer Shark, I don't really know what it does, but it doesn't do anything exceptional, so I don't know why it's in the deck. Tridon, we'll touch on that later when I get to the big Tridon, but it's a bad card. Here we have Reese the Ice Mistress. You know you're fucking up when you have ice barriers in your deck. Aqua Spirit, not really quite sure what it does. Not good. It's not good. Poseidra, here's what I was talking about. So the Tridon, this tiny guy, gets out Poseidra, and Poseidra ends up having little to no effect on the field because he's just a big beat stick, and that's about it. So that's it for the bad monsters. Now we're moving on to the bad spells, two of which are a field spell, which is basically Umi, a card that came out in like 2002. So I don't know why it's in Brandon's my 2017 deck, but it remains there to this day. Next up, Swords of Revealing Light. Again, 2002. It is now 2017. This is very outdated, and it's really only there to keep myself from losing with this bad deck. Same concept with Pianissimo, and next card after Pianissimo. This one just prevents my subpar monsters from being destroyed. This next card, Gravity Bind. Again, it's just there to prevent me from losing, so my opponents can't attack while I draw. And Bubble Bringer, I'm not quite sure what it does, but it's just a super rare. Alright, that's it for the bad cards. Moving on to the okay at best cards. Number 1, Fishborg Archer. Really only there to discard the Atlantean guys. And he's a tuner too, I guess, but yeah, he's pretty much the best tuner I could get that was also a water attribute, and I need waters for my water deck. Next up, Dragon Ice. I heard that people use him in decks, so I put him in mine. He's just a free special summon. Treeborn Frog. He's actually pretty good, but not quite good enough to make it to the good pile. But, it's just a free special summon once every turn if you have no spells or traps and whatnot. Abyss Soldier, you know, just classic. Used to be good, now is okay, but is still in my deck. He's also a water attribute. You'll find that most, if not all, of these monsters are water attribute. Next up is Screech! That's all that needs to be said. Creature Swap, very outdated card. I just want to take my opponent's monsters. Why don't I just use Goyo Guardian? I mean, I don't want to give them anything. Anyways, despite the fact that Goyo Guardian's bad now, I'd still rather use it. Salvage. 3 Salvage gets me cards. Okay, I guess. 2 water monsters. 1500 or less attack, though. It kind of draws the card back, I feel. Dark Hole is pretty good. I put it in the okay pile because, again, it's just there to prevent me from losing because I can't really do too much with this deck. Surface, again, gets me more cards to the hand. Pot of Dichotomy. I don't remember what it does, but it's not Pot of Greed, so I can't imagine it being good. Spiritual Water Art Aoi. Tribute a water monster, look at your opponent's hand. Then oh, that's actually pretty good. I'm going to move that to the good pile for now. Yeah, so that one's in the good pile. I made a mistake. I don't know how that got there. I think Brandon put it there. Next up, Mirror Force. Traps are slow. Same with Magic Cylinder, Call the Haunted. Just slow cards. Don't really need them in any 2017 deck. Why would I use traps? Anyways, that's it for the okay cards. Moving on to the good pile. Again, this is shockingly large. I didn't think, like, any water deck would ever be this % good. But, First and foremost is obviously Big Whale, the main card that you would want to run in the deck. This bad boy gets you out 3 water monsters, all level 3. I'm sorry, what?
Goes into Trish.
Yeah, it combos great into Trish. We'll get into that later, but I'll show it to you now. Trish, very recently unbanned, is very good. Not quite the Necroz version, but still a synchro nonetheless. It also goes into rank 3s. Again, I'll get into this later, but I also want to show it to you because my deck's pretty neat sometimes. Let's see, you could do Wind Up Zen Mines. Who knows? You could also do Wind Up Zen Mines, maybe Acid Golem. Yeah, so anyways, we'll get into the extra deck later on, but Big Whale, overall, phenomenal card. I mean, I know I said before tributing is slow, but Big Whale just makes everything so worth it.
Why do you run out one if it's so good?
What?
Why do you run out one if it's so good?
Really, it's just like one of those cards where it just gets... You don't want it to clog your deck, but the one card is enough to just win you the game outright if you get it out, you know what I mean?
Do you recycle it often?
No, never.
Oh, okay. It's a one and done?
Yeah, it's typically in typical games. Next up is Mermail Abyss Sturge. I'm not quite sure what it does, but I know a Mermail was a top tier deck at one point, so I just put it in my deck. Deep Sea Diva, very good, summon from the deck. Get out a free Synchro, because she's also a tuner as well. Let's see. Oh man, Atlantean Dragoons. I'm a huge fan of this card, I have to say. It's just like a free Atlantean card at some point, and it attacks your life points. Next up, more of the same Atlanteans, you know. Atlanteans are very good. You discard them. There's Marksman, there's Heavy Infantry, and they just destroy cards that your opponent controls, you know. Who doesn't want to destroy cards your opponent controls? Next up, more of the same once more. Mermail. What's his name? Abyss Pike and Abyss Megalo. Abyss Pike does... When he's normal or special summon, discard a water monster to your graveyard, add a level 3 water monster from your deck to your hand. Very good. To combos with the Atlanteans, you discard them, add a card. Pretty good. Abyss Megalo you discard, and OTKs as fuck. He attacks twice. Not once, twice. Again, Mermails used to be a very good deck a few years ago, so that's why it inspired me to make a water deck, and that's why I have this water deck with Big Whale in it. Next up, he recently came out and... Oh, I missed a Marksman. It recently came out, and I think saved my water deck, is Neptibus, the Atlantean Prince. This bad boy...
Discard sent to grave.
Discards, sends to grave. It just combos with the Atlanteans, you know, more of the same, good old usual. But yeah, he allows for OTKs with Abyss Megalo. He makes water cards better, so I'm a huge fan. Next up, Mystical Space Typhoon. I put this in the good pile. I was considering putting it in the okay pile just because every deck ever uses it. So it's like, why even put it in the good pile, you know what I'm saying? 1 for 1 gets you those 1s for 1. Moray of Greed gets you those draws. Call the Atlanteans, calls Atlanteans. Torrential Tribute, again, same with all these. They're like, yeah, they're traps, but aside from this card, I'll get to that in a second. These are all cards that are in like every deck, so why even put them in the good pile? Everybody knows what they do, everybody uses them forever. I'm not really original for putting them in my deck, is what I'm trying to say. I used to run Torrential Reborn, but it was a shit card, so I took it out. And Spiritual Water Art. You tribute a water monster, look at your opponent's hand, and send a card from their hand to the graveyard. I think that's insane. You get to look at your opponent's hand. It's one of the best things you could ever do in Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever. It's the entire inspiration for my water deck besides the Atlantean Prince, who came out after I made the deck, and the Mermails. Moving on to the extra deck. Number 1, Trishula. Inspired me to make a water deck because he's a water attribute. He's also a Necroz, but I don't use the Necroz one in my main deck. But he just gets rid of your opponent's cards, banishes, in fact. Very good. This guy, number 37, I think, Hope Woven Dragon Spider Shark. I put him in the deck because he has a long name, so I think that means he has to be good. Star Eater, I bought it for $2. It's Ghost Rare. and he really just like shits on my opponents with his high level. Tatsunoko, little water seahorse thing, gets out other synchros with tuner. He's also a tuner. Duloran, Tiger King of the Ice Barrier. Again, I think if you're running an Ice Barrier, you're making a mistake, but it's good, so I put it in the good pile. Gungnir, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, another Ice Barrier. This one's pretty good too, I think. Once per turn, discard up to 2 cards to the graveyard, target the same number of cards your opponent controls, destroy them. So yeah, combos with the Atlanteans. You could send the Atlanteans, destroy like 4 cards at once, up to. Who knows? The world is your oyster. Black Rose Dragon, very generic. Just destroy the field, blow up the field, destroy it. Leo, Keeper of the Sacred Tree. Beatstick guy. Phase 2 cannot be targeted. Beatstick that can't be targeted except in main phase 2. Who even goes into main phase 2 anyways? I always say it's like the extra main phase. Number 47, Nightmare Shark. Nightmare Shark, rank 3, so you could get him out with all those level 3 waters. Super Quantal Mech Beast Grand Pulse. Again, same concept, long name, has to be good.
Dolphins, motherfucker.
Dolphins motherfucker indeed. Number 30, Acid Golem of Destruction. Shit card, but I put it in my deck because I ran out of extra deck cards to put in. Combos with Creature Swap, but again, Creature Swap is outdated. Wind Up Zen Mines, classic card, probably outdated at this point. Shouldn't really be using it. Abyss Dweller, fantastic card. Yeah, all that needs to be said. Mermail, Abyss Gaios, big, ultra rare, big, rank 7, decently long name, probably pretty good. Bahamut Shark, gonna be absolute shit when links come out, but for the time being, this motherfucker gets me those cards. Anyways, that's my water deck. Here's some extra cards that I found in the deck box. Cloud Castle, Foolish Burial, Monster Reincarnation, and Shark Caesar. Oh, I took this out. Anyways, that's the deck profile. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thumbs up and subscribe.
Do you ever get your extra deck and main deck mixed up because they have the same sleeve?
Every duel, ever.